Rieva Steenkamp's family has welcomed the strict conditions under which Oscar Pistorius has been paroled. In a statement, the late model's mother, June, says it sends a clear message that gender-based violence is taken seriously in the country. The conditions include anger management courses and programs on gender-based violence. The Steenkamp family says no amount of jail time will bring Rieva back, and that it's her loved ones that are serving a life sentence.
No, the family was not aware that he's already left the facility. And again, I say, it doesn't matter to June. June has been quite clear about that for her to survive this journey of living every day without Rieva, her focus cannot be on Oscar. It has to be on surviving every day. And she's always said that, and she still feels that way. What Barry always said, and he's been quoted many times in the media, as long as it happens according to the law, as long as there's no favoritism and Oscar Pistorius is treated the same way any other offender is treated, all they've asked for is that they must be abided by the law. I believe that the parole board took into account the information that was placed before them. The profile of Oscar Pistorius was placed before them. June did a victim impact statement, a very powerful statement, and she said in that statement that she doesn't believe he is rehabilitated because she doesn't believe his version. But having said that, she also had issues and fears regarding, in her view, his tendency to have anger issues, and of course also she gave examples of previous girlfriends who also, in her view, was subjected to some violence which she termed as gender-based violence. And the parole board took that into consideration. They imposed conditions on Oscar's release, two of which was that he would attend courses on gender-based violence and anger management courses. So she feels heard. She feels that the correct message has been sent out to society, that gender-based violence will not be tolerated. So, yes, she does feel that the process was conducted fairly.
Let's get more reaction to Pistorius' release on parole from Themba Masango, who is with Not In My Name International. Themba, a very good afternoon to you, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good afternoon, Kwena, and thank you so much for having us.
Based on what we've just listened or heard now from Tanya Kuhn, the lawyer on behalf of the Steenkamp family, they're saying, look, they just want their privacy. They're not necessarily happy, but they have made peace with their decision. What do you make of what has happened so far, especially with the parole of Oscar Pistorius as Not In My Name International?
Understandably so, and I think it's a balanced view from the family's side that no matter how long a jail sentence can be or how short it can be, it won't bring Rieva Steenkamp back. And right now, what this is highlighting is actually the procedures of our country, and that once again we are a country that is governed by laws. And Oscar Pistorius, as you know, was sentenced to jail. He served 7 years of his 13-year sentence. He then obviously qualifies for parole, and through the wisdom of the the Act, which is I think it's Act 73 of the Correctional Services Act, he qualified to get parole. And I think what's also important for us to mention here is that Oscar Pistorius is not a free man. He's merely on parole, meaning that the rehabilitative justice still continues. The strict measures that has been put on him, such as him, going through to anger management classes, him going through gender-based violence sensitivity classes. And this is something that we welcome, that it's not just a punitive measure of just, taking the keys and throwing somebody in there and forgetting about it, but actually trying to see if this person can be rehabilitated, integrated back into society. And perhaps somebody of Oscar's stature in society would perhaps help in actually raising awareness with regards to gender-based violence and femicide. You would know, Gwena, that our femicide rate in the country is 6.1 times higher than anywhere else in the world. And if somebody like him can advocate against, a femicide, having been a perpetrator, and hopefully one that has been rehabilitated, it could go a long way. Some of the programs that we run in prisons with regards to rehabilitative justice, where we go into prisons and speak to inmates who are perpetrators of gender-based violence and femicide to find out what the root causes are and also what can be done to avert such situations in future. So as much as this does not bring back a river in any way, and nor does it alleviate the pain of the family, perhaps there could be some sort of light at the end of the tunnel by making sure that somebody like Oscar never again perpetrates again, but furthermore, perhaps can be a help to society. And organizations such as Not In My Name are willing and open to have him on board to, in fact, take the message forward.
With that said, Themba, can we then say that looking at the decisions that have been made, I mean, either way, there will be those that will be happy with the decision. That's how the law works, and others will not. That why the 7 years? Why does he not serve his full term, and so on and so forth? But from your perspective, as Not In My Name, would you say that this sends that strong message that we've always been asking for as far as gender-based violence and femicide is concerned? Because the biggest issue has always been that we don't feel that there's enough that is being done as a deterrent for perpetrators and would-be perpetrators. Themba?
Right. Indeed. And as you know, look, 100%, Gwen, I agree with you. And I think that this goes to prove that we are a country that is governed by laws, that goes by the statutes of the law. There is no favoritism. You'll remember when he was first sentenced, it was only for 5 years. It was appealed and taken over to 13 years to show that, the powers that be felt that this first sentence that he had gotten was not sufficient, and he was given then the 13 years. And then obviously by law, you're allowed then to, apply to get parole after certain years have been done by you. So, if the time has been done, and there is a recourse within the law to get parole based on whatever material evidence and circumstances you can put to the correctional services for them to give you parole, that happens. And this is what has taken place. So I think here we can really give our correctional services and our judicial system a round of applause that, everything has been done the right way, and it is now in Oscar's hands to make sure that he can actually be a rehabilitated perpetrator and, give back to society and show that he is a repentant and changed man. And we do believe in second chances.
What then would be the key takeaway from this whole process, from when the murder happened to where we are today, where Oscar Pistorius is on parole under very strict conditions, we understand. But from Not In My Name, as a movement that actually speaks against gender-based violence, what would be the key takeaway from what we've seen and where we are, particularly with this case?
Well, I would say that we can take it from the spokesperson of the family who said, even though it's painful, they feel that justice has been served. And that whether, it may be fair or not in some people's eyes, what we can take away here is that, the country's legal system is up and it's running. And this is what we want to see. Perpetrators being imprisoned, perpetrators being rehabilitated, changing and not being perpetrators anymore, and the law taking its full course. And this is what you want you want to see, to, number one, deter would-be perpetrators. Two is to make sure that those that are put into the system are correctly rehabilitated, and should they be reintegrated into society, they can actually be assets to society.
Themba, just finally, there is also the perception that, well, this is a high-profile case. That's why it's getting so much attention from media, from Not In My Name, from the international world. Are we seeing the same kind of energy being directed towards gender-based violence, or is this different because this is a high-profile case?
Indeed, and we can't shy away from that. This is a high-profile case. Oscar Pistorius and Riva were high-profile people, and that's why the spotlight is on them and the highlight of this issue. We just hope that with this issue being highlighted on them, it would serve to say then to others who may not necessarily be receiving the light of day, that there is justice in the country, and those who do bad do go to prison, and those who are rehabilitated are afforded a second chance, and albeit with strict measures, and there needs to be a complete rehabilitation. Let's also be clear again, Oscar is not a free man right now. He is still a prisoner, part of within the state. He is just on parole, and he has to follow strict measures in order for him to prove that he has clearly been rehabilitated. So at any time things can change. We just hope that for the best that he would actually finish his sentence in a proper way and prove that he is genuinely repented and rehabilitated. Yes, and unfortunately, others who don't have the clout that he carries don't necessarily have that same spotlight. But we hope that the justice system will be fair and will be as clear and as direct as it has been with this whole Oscar Pistorius saga.
All right, Themba, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you so much for coming through. Themba Masango, Secretary General, Not In My Name International, as we get a response from the parole of Oscar Pistorius.